Hello and welcome to Shalesey Cast. So not seen a deck spotlight video from me for a while. I have been laddering pretty hard, managed to make it to rank 1 last season. Pretty disappointed not to make Legend. So I thought when I was laddering this season I'd do some more deck spotlights. So first of all, I have the Malygos Rogue deck. It's like a Miracle Rogue deck with Malygos in. So you can see the deck list on the right hand side here before I set the video going. I have got 5 games for you, so I'm not going to take too long. So I've got a couple of backstabs, so 0 mana, 2 damage, preparation, very key in a Miracle deck to cycle your cards with gadgets. And as you'll see, maybe I'll do this, maybe I won't, but saving one of your preparations for when you drop Malygos on turn 9 is a really good way to do a lot of damage, clearing boards with like Blade Flurry, Fan of Knives, etc. Because we've got a 6 damage Fan of Knives, we've got a 6 damage Blade Flurry just with Malygos, and if you've got Deadly Poison on your blade, then obviously you can do 9 damage Blade Flurry, and if you've got any more spell damage out from the Azure Drake or the Blood Mage, that's going to do more. I get, backstab as well, really good with Malygos. You've got your Sinister Strike, 3 damage to the face, 1 mana. Your Deadly Poison adds an extra 2 damage onto your dagger. 1 sap. Don't need sap so much because of the Malygos damage. 2 eviscerates, so combo, 2 damage, combo 4 damage. 1 loot hoarder just for the cycling, Fan of Knife just for the cycling, and for Malygos. Big Game Hunter because hand block is a really tough matchup, so we need the Big Game Hunter, also good versus Rag. Earthen Ring Farseer just help us kind of stay in the game and to wait for Malygos. Edwin, very key in our rush matchups. Get out a big Edwin, maybe use a prep sometimes, get a big Edwin out there, put a threat on the board, slow the rush deck down. SI7, great kind of mid-range, 2 damage with his combo, nice free, keep him on the board. Assassin's Blade, I was running this without Assassin's Blade, excuse me, I was running this without Assassin's Blade and I was losing heavily to Druid. Then I looked up another version and I put Assassin's Blade in, and you suddenly stop losing to Druid, and you also do very well versus mid-range hunters. There is a mid-range hunter in here, a bit of a strange mid-range hunter, but there's one there. Azure Drake, 1 card draw, plus 1 spell damage, 5 mana. Gadgizan doesn't really need any explanation, but draws a card every time you play a spell. And Malygos, plus 5 spell damage. Okay, without further ado, let's get into this game. Exciting. I'll put a little bit of background music on because I do play quite a lot of music on my stream, so you can't really listen to the audio of the stream, so I'll just put a little bit of background music. I'm not sure of the volume of it because it's so hard to work out the volumes when you've got all the settings in Windows. So I did mulligan out one of my shivs, and then I got 2 Gadgizans, which was real unfortunate. But I got a shiv and an eviscerate. Looks like we're possibly against a zoo deck. Probably very likely against a zoo deck now. So I think I shiv the Leponome here. Got the Assassin's Blade and Edwin, which is pretty cool. I do try and remove the cards from half deckers, so it will be kind of up to date for the most part. So pretty standard stuff. Not too scary of a board yet. Not a lot of damage on there. So I think prep, eviscerate, Edwin here. So we got a 6/6 on the board now. Now with Zoo, I run 1 Ironbeak Owl, but a lot of them don't run any silence. So the only way for him to deal with a 6/6 at this stage is to use his abusives, use his Dark Iron Dwarfs, and or maybe Soulfire it in the face. But either way, it's gonna hurt him. This is just a beautiful backstab here when the young priestess buffs the abusive sergeant. I do play quite fast, I do apologise, but a lovely little board clear there on turn 4 for us, and we were 2 mana spare as well. because of the backstab. I mean, he has to get rid of this Edwin, so Leroy Jenkins, so we've got one of his win conditions out of the way, which is pretty cool. So we're just going to start beating him down with the Assassin's Blade, and it gives us some really good removal. I haven't removed the Assassin's Blade from the half deck yet. Let's destroy some scenery instead. Doomguard. When the Doomguard came out, I was like, oh my god, this kind of sucks. But then I got a 3-drop to combo my SI, so it worked out that I could actually clear the Doomguard, throwing everything at it on the Assassin's Blade. So that was pretty lucky, really, in the end. And I get a 4-2 on the board in the 3-3. So now, like, I just have to hope he doesn't draw too many more charges. Looking kind of okay. Flame Imp's just great for us. Does an extra 3 damage to him. Voidwalker, again, easy clear with the Assassin's Blade. So I get the Gadgetzan out. Oh cool, okay. So I want to keep the 4 damage out. So I clear the Voidwalker with that. Didn't take the first damage. So now I have 2 ways to draw cards. Draw a spell, or the Loot Hoarder there. Helps us draw a card. So we've got a nice bit of card draw, so we can keep drawing out our removal. Soulfire to the Gadgetzan, which is pretty expected, really, but nothing else can really hurt us that much. And that's just beautiful. Great Blade Flurry. We can combo it with Gadgetzan for a card draw as well. The only bad thing about that turn is we didn't draw from the Loot Hoarder, but we've got a Shiv, which is going to give us 2 draws with the Gadgetzan if it doesn't clear him. And I think that's game. Yeah, and there he goes. So Zoo deck beaten, pretty handily. Okay, so let me just pause this. So 18. Cool. So we've got Hunter. I think this is a weird mid-range Hunter deck. And I say weird because it's got some pretty strange cards in it that you don't see very often. So we've got a nice starting hand: Deadly Poison, Blade Flurry, Eviscerate. Really cool set of cards here for this deck. I usually, when I'm going first, will pass turn 1, Blade up turn 2, Deadly Poison turn 3, and don't use the Blade on turn 2 either when I Blade up. Got a Sinister Strike. We're generally always going to hold on to the Sinister Strikes. We're going to use them if we feel like we need to rush our opponent down, if we're taking too much damage, or we're going to try and save them with Malygos to really put the hurt down. So yeah, can't really do anything about the Crocolisk until turn 3. So we're going to take 2 damage. Generally the Hunter's going to get a lot more early damage in than us, mainly because of his hero power and because of just the cheap minions that he gets, I guess. So what I was considering... Oh wow. Okay, so I want it to be mana efficient, I guess. I think as soon as I used that Eviscerate, I was kind of like, oh, why did I use that? I could have used it for removal later, because there might be some really annoying stuff that I've got to remove. But I guess I'm also thinking I've got an Azure Blade Flurry on 6, which is quite a way away, I guess. But we're going to heal up for 3 next turn with the Earthen Ring, and we draw a Sap, which is really good versus mid-range Hunter, which we're probably against. I mean, I've given it away that we are against it, but when we see a River Crocolisk on turn 1, we're pretty much against mid-range Hunter, and if he clears this Farseer, we're definitely against mid-range Hunter, because Face Hunter just wouldn't do that. We'll get the Azure out. So we possibly got a nice combo up Edwin if we want one next turn. We can go like Blade Flurry, Sinister Strike, Edwin, get 6/6 out of him. So I think my theory here is that this is misdirection, and I don't really want to take 4 damage to the face for free. So I'm just going to use the spell damage and the card draw. So we get an interesting use of both of his unleashes, which really actually changes the shape of this game. The fact that he uses both here and one of his Timberwolves just to clear my two minions. I mean, he's obviously scared of the one spell damage, and he's obviously scared of the card draw. But I think to use both of your unleashes here, I mean, I guess his thinking is that I'm not going to use many minions on the board, so I'm going to get Aaron out here. Oops, almost pulled this SI there. So now we can use the loot hoarder to trigger the trap, and if it is a misdirection, we only take 2. So this is when I say it gets a bit weird. So we got the Stranglethorn Tiger out, so I was just like, okay, not sure what's going on here, and it is very interesting what it does with it. Oh, freezing trap. So yeah, that wouldn't have been cool. So now I can just load minions on the board with impunity. Let's get this Blade Flurry down and put him in lethal range next turn. We are so way off lethal. Both of his unleashes have gone, so what have we got to be scared of, really? And this just gives us the win. We've got Sap in hand. Oh, and I think, yeah, this kind of puts a dampener on it, but then I think I top deck something. I'm sure I top deck something to give me the win. What is it? Oh, big game hammer, so we can kill the tiger. Cool. Sap that. And win. Cool. Sweet. Right. So now we've got a druid next. So this druid, wow, this druid like comes at my face like big time. I was just like, oh my god, what is this guy doing? So we're going to mulligan out the Azure. I think we're going to keep the gadgets in because we've got the coin. That's the only reason. This deck doesn't rely on Gadgetzan for the card draw. He's kind of just in there as a supplementary card draw. But sometimes you do need to kind of draw the cards side through the deck. So we've got Malygos, which is pretty cool. So we've got a turn 2 Yeti. So I think the theory is shiv him and then put him in Eviscerate range. But I actually totally mess up the Eviscerate because I coined Eviscerate and then I was meant to put my weapon on and I just didn't. So I was just like, you can see I do it quite fast. So I'm just like, coin. So I was annoyed that I had to use my coin and then in turn, and then I'm like, oh, weapon, whoops. So Malygos deck is it is quite expensive to craft. I did craft Malygos recently, but I have nearly every card now, so I think I had ready to do it. So I'm just going to play a naked SI, and this is so interesting because he's just done a keeper to the face, and like I'm sure like keepers are really useful for like silencing stuff like Gadgetzans and like Azure Drakes and like Thalmos and like Malygos. goes face. So like this is like an insta swipe. I was just like, wow, okay. So he really started coming at me, and I actually thought I was really going to lose this game. I was like, I'm not ever going to get in a position where I've got enough stuff to deal with this guy. But then praise backstab, love you backstab, and so then I was just like, okay, I need to start doing something back. So I Thalmos and I Sinister Striked. And I think the main reason I played Thalmos was for the card draw and to use up my mana. And I just thought, while he's out there, he might as well do something useful. So it's really cool that we draw an Earthen Ring, and then I think we draw another one, which is just awesome because they can both take out the Sun Fury for free. When I say for free, obviously they're no risk of hero power from the Druid, but at least it gives us some breathing room here. I really didn't like the play that I did next turn, but I didn't see what else I could do. I really don't want the 5/5 out there because he's just a pain in the ass. I don't really have answers for everything. I really want to get some more cards in my hand. I want to prep, number one, and it's the only spell I have. So cool, I get a prep, and then I'm just like, shall I use the prep? And I'm like, oh, go on, then I'll use the prep, and then I don't get a spell, so I've just like literally wasted a prep. All I got out of it was a card draw. So in my mind, things are just going like really bad here. Then he rolls out the charge, so goodbye Gadgetzan. So no more card draw other than the Azure, and he's going to take out that damage 3/3. But like this guy is like he goes so fast and he's so aggressive. So then I think I'm counting up, can I get an Edwin out here? And then I was like, let's just get my blade ready. We can get the theory behind putting the weapon is that next turn I can Gadgetzan Deadly Poison, so that's 6 mana, and hopefully it's going to draw into some spells, because like, if you look at what's left in the deck, it really is just spells. So we can be safe in the knowledge that we're going to pretty much draw spells now. So now he's healed up, so now we've got a spell, which is cool. And like, wow, backstab, just we get a free card draw basically. Oh, Blade Flurry, wow, just top decks are real now. Blade Flurry. So I think, I could have cleared it with Blade Flurry, but I lose a charge on the weapon. Hit with the weapon. Yeah, well done. So we get rid of the Watcher just so that we don't get any silent shenanigans. He has got at least one more silence left in that deck, and we don't want this Gadgetzan to die for free. So YOLO Rags, which kind of seems like a desperation play at this stage. We did just get a load of spells, but we lose the Gadgetzan, but it doesn't really matter because we've got the big game. We've got a Blade Flurry, we've got a 6/6 Edwin, and next turn we've got a Malygos Sinister. So nothing really beats us here. I'm not sure when the Druid lost this game, but I think it's when he was just going face. To be honest with you, I think he just went a little bit too face heavy. Okay, so next game. Here we go. So I'm sorry if my microphone is a bit screwed. My headset is completely knackered. I do mouse button has also died on my mouse, so I also need a new one of those. So yeah, the purchases are real this month. Okay, so we're going to keep the Fascia because it's probably a zoo deck, because that's all you see when it's Warlock, with the occasional handlock. We've kept an Eviscerate, kept the Fascia, and we get another Eviscerate, which is really cool. We've got Prep, so we've got a good few ways to clear our board. So that reinforces the fact that it's a zoo deck, and so does that. I won't spoil anything at this stage, but so a bit sad about using the Eviscerate on the Flaming, but he's just done 3 damage to himself, so we've already got value if we remove the Flaming immediately. So losing the value from the Eviscerate is kind of fine. We're not super happy about it, but you know. So then Murlocs, so we're like, oh, Murlocs, cool, Murloc deck. I'm really not sure how this deck performs against Murloc decks, but it seems to do quite well against Rush decks if you get the draws. So the War Leader was just the glorious drop, especially when we get Thalnos backstab for 3. And then we can, I mean, eviscerating a 1 mana creature seems ridiculous, but it's going to be so difficult for us to clear it, and we really want access to his board. So I'm kind of fine with it. I'm kind of sad now that the War Leader comes out though. But then we top deck the Assassin's Blade, so that's both his War Leaders down, which makes me super happy, because that's 2 of his major win conditions just gone. We're now in a position where he's going to struggle to put down a ton of damage on us. We need to get rid of these 2 Tidecaller, we need to get rid of those, but you know, we have the Assassin's Blade, so we can clear at least one of them. I mean, this is beautiful, because they've only got 2 health. We can clear that one, we can heal, we can clear that one, which puts us in just an amazing standing. He's got like a 1-1 and a 2-1 on board. We've got 2 3/3s. We're not that far behind in health, and we've got 2 durability left on the weapon, which is really cool. We've also got a Prep. We've got an Azure Drake. We've got more draw with the Loot Hoarder as well. Then Doomguard, which makes everything look pretty bad until we draw Blade Flurry. I mean, this is just pretty glorious. And then Azure Drake into Backstab, and it's just like the top decks are real Sun, because that's 3 damage, 4 from the Blade Flurry, that's a board clear. And now there's not a lot we're afraid of other than another Doomguard, and we can clear it, but he does put us on 1 health if he draws it, but he's like got no cards in his hand and he's dead next turn. I mean, obviously the look was quite good, but you can see how this deck has a lot of answers for these kind of decks. Okay, cool. Bonus stars OP. Yeah, okay. So now we've got a Warrior. So I'm thinking like Control Warrior. This deck does kind of well versus Control Warrior, and that's the main thing I see, but I've also been seeing this Renounce Warrior Rush deck thing with like Worgens and lots of weapons and Heroic Strike, and yeah, it's pretty. I did play it for a little bit. I could probably do a deck spotlight on it. It's kind of cool, I guess. So did think about Shivin, and then I thought probably better get a 2-1 out there, and the card got a lot of stuff in our hands, so we've got a lot of things going on. So like, here's the Worgen, here's the Worgen, here's the Worgen. So 2 card draws. Sweet, and we clear a Worgen. I don't know why he just put a naked Worgen out there. It was pretty manner of him to just throw that out there for us. Pretty cool. Cheers, guy. Are we going to... Yep, coin out. No. Wow. Really? Okay. That's fine. I thought I was going to coin out the Assassin's Blade there, but that plays kind of cool as well. Get a 6/6 out there on turn 4. Give him something to actually have to deal with. And I guess the thing is that probably the 6/6 is the optimal Edwin to get out. It's early, it's tough to deal with. But this guy's running a weird hybrid rush control deck. So he's going to take the 6 to the face. Yeah, this guy's deck's kind of real weird. When the Armorsmith came out, I was like, what is going on? Because we'd already had the Worgen, so I was pretty much like, well, this is Rush Warrior, and then he plays a Shield Slam and an Armorsmith, and I'm like, what? So, and again, like, I mean, I guess he was trying to enrage the Worgen here with the Mad Bomber, and it just kind of didn't really work out for him. I considered for a little while. I was really sad about losing 1 durability on this weapon when I Blade Flurried, but I was just like, YOLO, clears his entire board. You know, I'm just like, I could fan of knives, but that's going to enrage the Worgen and give him a ton of mana. I don't really want to use fan of knives and eviscerate, because that's not going to kill all of his board anyway. I don't have enough mana to do his Drake fan of knives. I don't have a prep. Losing 3 damage to clear his entire board, kind of worthwhile, I guess. Another Mad Bomber, which again just makes this deck so just ridiculous. And I think he clears the Earthen Ring here because he obviously wants to protect this Frothing that he thinks he's going to get like mad big, but we just got like real bad news for him because I'm just going to Azure and eviscerate it, which again makes me sad because I've just lost like 2 damage, but YOLO. And the Azure Drake kind of like puts a 4/4 out there and he can't easily clear it. He has to throw like 2 things at it, or he has to Whirlwind, because like totally everyone runs Whirlwind in a Rush Warrior deck. Weird. Then Rampage as well. I'm just like, what is going on here? I actually considered sapping this for like a little bit of time, and then Shiv comes out, and I'm just like, oh, maybe I should just kill it. Yeah. I'm just like calculating. I've got enough mana. I've got a card draw. Shiv. Get a 3/3 out there. Clear his board and leave him with no cards in hand. Which is probably the better play. If that Shiv didn't come out, I guess Sap would have been kind of okay. Got some card draw next turn. So, Wild Pyro. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay. So as soon as I draw the Malygos, I'm just like, I'm not wasting that prep, like, no way. That prep is just awesome. Literally, that's like, if we draw 1 damage spell, he's dead next turn, because we like Malygos. But I think he's dead next turn anyway. Yeah, he's drawing an Acolyte, which is kind of sucky for him, but we just, Malygos Sinister, face. That's enough, isn't it? That's enough damage, I think. Hunger for vengeance. you can see, this deck's pretty cool. And we're going to finish with a huge spell damage. Blade Flurry. Cool. 7 damage. So yeah, as you can see, this deck has a lot of spells. We've got a lot of card draw. We've got some real early mid-game threats. Edwin Van Cleef, SI7. We've got the big game for the clear. We've got the Blood Mage versus with the spells for some early board clear. We've got the Assassin's Blade plus the Deadly Poison to put a ton of damage to the face or board clear if we need to. We've got the Earthen Ring Farseer for the heals.